Hello, this is Stephen Childs, founder of the Church of Fairness and Team Fairness, author of the World Fairness Agreement. I want to talk about God. I want to make sense. I want to say something that makes sense about God, something that's not contradictory or claims without evidence. Something that's not a threat to some other group of people. So, first of all, nobody rules over us. We're ruled by law. In the USA, there's no person that rules over us. It's the law of the land that has power to require us to comply, to get along with each other, to not do each other wrong. It's supposed to establish justice. It's supposed to write law that provides for the general welfare, so we don't have poverty and oligarchy. Well, our judiciary, our government, has failed at that. They started off on the wrong foot, right from the get-go. You know, people said things like that attorneys are not a good group of people, in so many words. And the law writers are attorneys. Well, figure it out. So, to be fair, a lot of them are good people. And they're hoping that we get a system that works, that's not failing. They want us to get back on the right track. With the Constitution, you know, right now the oaths mean nothing. People's statements mean nothing. People lie, cheat, and steal, and it's legal. So that's what the law of fairness is about. It's a violation of the law of fairness to do someone wrong in any way. And we don't use attorneys. This is just a group of people that are in service of people, care about others, and don't do anyone wrong. We're trying to teach others to do the same thing. So the fairness court, we just find out what's causing the unfairness and support people in stopping being unfair. And the consequence, if they refuse, is they'll be shunned by everyone. We have a person that's not agreeing to be fair to us. We don't want anything to do with him. He's not welcome here, he or she. So it's like peer pressure can be really powerful persuasion, especially if they're in the wrong. They're doing people wrong and they won't agree to stop. Like some billionaire, everybody will hate him for doing people wrong. On the other hand, he can use his wealth to help us establish the World Fairness Agreement. Then he's a hero, totally forgiven. We don't care what he did in the past. It's not our business. He's agreed to not do us wrong. We're not going to find out if he did something illegal. We don't care. We just want to stop the unfairness. Now, this is not about the past. It's about now, from now on. So, no one rules over us. What about God? Doesn't God rule over us? Not the God concept that I have. The concept that I have is God is us. God is the earthquake, the tornado, the stars, the love we have for each other. God is what everything is. It doesn't need to rule over anything because it is everything. So I don't think there's a God that created intentionally from all power and all knowledge. Why would there be evil? Why would there be earthquakes that people get trapped in rubble? What a horrible way to die, you know? Dreadful. Cancer, what a dreadful way to die. What about the person that is so deranged from living in this unfair world that he's a mass murderer at a supermarket? Why would God create that? Well, did God create everything or not? See, they run into problems with their argument. They're called apologists. They try to apologize for their belief in God and the problem of evil. It's not that there's not a cause of reality. We know there's a cause of reality. We're here. But how much easier to believe that there's no purpose in the first place, none that we can see. It happens on its own from the right initial conditions, the expansion of the universe, the right conditions for all the nutrients and compounds and energy that's required for life to start replicating. So biological evolution designs species that actually don't make a lot of sense. We have redundancy. We have part of us that was done away with, but yet it's still, the trace of it is still with us. Why would a God create like that? I don't think there's such a thing. I think the divine is that we have consciousness that emerged and is therefore a part of this physical universe. And there's not a separate mind from the physical universe. There's not a separate mind or individual from the God that is everything. We're not separate. God is us. God doesn't need to rule us or anything else. He's just everything that happens. He, she, or it. So, I see people struggling with God's will. Why did my dog get ran over? Why is this God's will that has happened? It's so much nicer to think that there's not a God causing it to happen. God is the events that happen, not from conscious choice. The conscious choice is in how we help the person who's grieving, how we try to stop whatever caused it to happen. So it's us that are making the conscious choices to make things better for each other. We're saving ourselves from ourselves. If you have a God that's over everyone, then we're arguing who it is. Which one is it that has all power over everyone? And we're fighting wars over it. If there's not anyone that's over us, that rules over us, then we're on the track of caring about each other, agreeing not to do each other wrong, and we're on the right road to create a wonderful future where everybody has a good life. Thanks for listening.